Hi there, we're back, and today we're going to talk about the paragraph panel. The paragraph panel is mainly used when you have a text area. So I'm going to select the type tool and click and hold to build a text area so I can explain to you the options in the paragraph panel. Let me select the selection tool. Alright, so the paragraph panel can be accessed on the right in the properties bar. Right here, you can click on the three dots and then click on the menu to have more options, or you can access the paragraph panel as well by going to the control bar and clicking on the word paragraph. But to do that, you have to have a text area selected. If you don't have a text area selected, you won't see the name paragraph in the control bar, and neither you will see the name paragraph in the property panel. So I'm going to select again the paragraph. Another way to access the paragraph panel is going to menu, type, and paragraph. The shortcut is Alt Control T. If you're on the Mac, it's Command Option T. I'm going to open it, and there you go. This is the paragraph panel. Just like the character panel, the paragraph panel has a menu option on the right. You can click here and you can reset the panel. When you reset the panel, you will have the initial configuration of the paragraph. So let's go through these options here. First of all, if you go to the menu, you can choose the option Hide Options or Show Options, where you will get an additional configuration. Make sure you have the Show Options on, right? So we can see all of the options. And next on the menu, we have the Roman hanging punctuation, and then justification, hyphenation, Adobe single line composer, and Adobe every line composer, and then the reset panel. We won't get in details to these ones. These are just advanced options to justification and to hyphenation. I'll open them in the end of the class. So in the paragraph panel, you can align the paragraphs to the left. You can also align them to the center by clicking here, and you can align them to the right. You can also do a justified with the exception of the last line to the left. So when you click here, you can see that the last line is not justified. And then you can do the same for the center. The last line is in the center, and to the right as well. This last option I hardly use. It's justify all of the lines. If you do that, it's very likely that you get a big space between the words, and it just doesn't look really good. When you justify except for the last line, which is these three here, justify with the last line, you have to be careful as well, because when you have an area type box which is really short, what you may get is some big spacings between the words. So sometimes that doesn't look really good. Now let's increase this area to play around more. And let's reset the character as well. So I'm going to click here and reset the characters. I already taught you how to do it. Here, reset panel, right? You can access the character panel through the menu, character, type, and character. That's this one. And you can go to the options of the character and the reset panel here. Or you can use the properties, access the menu character, and then the options, and then the reset. This is usually what I do. When you click here, you're going to reset to the default configurations of the characters. So I have a 12 and a mirrored pro. I'm going to add a, let's say, 20. There you go. And I also want to fill up this area with more lorem ipsum. What you do is you right click and then you choose the option fill with placeholder text. There you go. I have lots of lorem ipsum as well. and for some reason they are not resetted, so I'm going to reset again. So I'm going to go to Paragraph and reset the Lorem Ipsum. So Menu and Reset. There you go. In this specific case, I would usually use the justified with the exception of the last line, which is this one. So the last line of each paragraph is not justified, okay? The first options that we have is the left indent, which is this one, and the right indent. With the left indent and the right indent, you can separate a specific paragraph from the area. All right, let's play around with the left indent first. So let's say I'm going to select a specific paragraph in the text area, and I'm going to increase the left indent. You can just click here or add a specific number, or you can use Shift to move them by 10, as you can see. So the left indent just pushes the text from the left of the text area. Because I've selected only one paragraph, then the left indent is moving only one paragraph. One thing that you have to pay attention is that you don't have to select the whole paragraph. All you have to do is click in one paragraph, and if the cursor is in a specific paragraph and you apply the left indent, the paragraph moves as a whole. So you can push the left side, holding Shift to increase, and you can also push the right side. As you can see, I have moved the third paragraph in a different way. I don't have to select the whole text. I just have to place the cursor in a specific paragraph to apply these rules. Below the left indent, you have the first line indent. So let's say that you want the first line indent of a specific paragraph to be applied. All you have to do is increase this line. As you can see, I'm not changing all of the paragraphs, but I can do that if I want. Let me select the selection tool, select the whole text area, and then I'm going to reset the paragraph again. So I'm going to reset the panel. There you go. And now let's say I want to first do a justify with last line aligns left, and then I'm going to apply the first line indent to all of the lines 30. There you go, that's enough for me. So all you have to do is select the text area as a whole and then apply the first line indent. The same thing goes to the left indent and the right indent. If I use them now, it will be applied to all of the paragraphs. All right, David, but when do I use a left indent? Well, let's say you want a specific paragraph, the second one, and let's say you want to separate this paragraph because, let's say it's a code or something that someone said. Then I could just use the left indent, holding Shift, and then separate everything. So let me teach you some more interesting things. Let's say, for example, you want to separate a paragraph from the rest. One way to do it is just go inside the paragraph, right? Press Enter, and maybe you're separating them. But there's a much better way to do this. And the way to do it is to create a space before or after a paragraph. You can select the paragraph, or you can just place the cursor in the paragraph and then use this option, which is space before paragraph. If you click here, holding Shift, it will increase by 10 points the spacing before the paragraph. If you don't hold Shift, it will just increase one by one, okay? And let's say I want 20 before and 20 after. And there you go. Let's say I want this specific configuration to the whole text area. All I have to do is select the text area and then just increase here, holding Shift. I'm going to add 10 and 10 again. And there you go. Now, David, if you have added 10, why there's so much space here? That's because I have a line here. I can remove this line if I don't want it anymore. And then I will have a space of 10 points before and after each paragraph. Isn't that cool? Below the spacing with the paragraph, you have the hyphenate option. As you can see here, some of the words are hyphenated. You can just select the text area and remove this, and then it will remove the hyphenate. If you do that, it may increase some of the spacing between the words. So I usually use hyphenate when I have a really small space to position the text. In this case here, maybe it will look better because the spacing between the words will almost be even among the whole text. Also, when you use hyphenate, you can also have advanced options for that when you go to the menu and choose hyphenation. And you can reconfigure some advanced options for hyphenation. I won't go to details, but you can look around and have some fun later on. You can also have some other advanced options for justification, which are these ones. I won't go in details, but if you want, you can just play around and do some changes. But just remember, if you change the justification and if you change the hyphenation, please do remember to reset the panel when you watch our next classes, okay? All right, so this is it. We've seen the paragraph panel. And on our next class, we're going to talk about overflow state. I think I mentioned before that on the text area, we have some squares below on the right and on the top on the left. And when the squares are red, it means we have an overflow state. And that's for our next class. I'll see you there.